Since the Industrial Revolution, the development of our civilization has come at a very high cost. We have extensively relied on finite energy resources that are now becoming increasingly scarce with time. The current energy crisis again shows how vulnerable we are, but there is a solution. And rather than looking out to space, we have a powerful energy source on our hands, which could be a game changer. Renewable energy derived from the Earth's core is known as geothermal energy. It originates from heat produced during the planet's initial creation and the radioactive decay of elements. In the Earth's core, rocks and liquids contain this thermal energy. Thermal energy is continuously transferred from the planet's interior to its surface due to the difference in temperature between the Earth's core and its surface. Some of the rock in the Earth's core melts at temperatures over 4,000 degrees Celsius to generate hot molten rocks known as magma. Given that the mantle is lighter than the underlying rock, these heats also force some of it to convect upward and act plastically. The rock and water in the crust of the Earth can get as hot as 370 degrees Celsius. From surface levels, all the way down to several miles below, thermal energy is present in the rocks and fluids. So how can this magma be used? After all, you can't simply pump it through your pipes now, can you? Well, geothermal energy has been utilized for heating systems and cooking for thousands of years. But never has a company endeavored to fully utilize this untapped potential on a commercial change. Well, a startup called Quaise is going to change all of that. A startup born from the research at the MIT Plasma Science and Fusion Center, Quaise is developing a novel energy drilling device to drill to the depths required to extract the most powerful and clean energy source on the planet. Russia's Kola Super Deep Borehole is one of the few experimental sites worldwide to have dug deeper than 10 kilometers using only traditional techniques. Quaise plans to do this investigation in only 100 days, which is many times faster than previous trials of its kind. However, they'll need more than just a sturdy drill bit to pull this off. We have not seen a more thrilling and fascinating green energy concept than Quaise's ultra-deep geothermal power idea. For the most part, this Boston-based MIT spin-off claims to have repurposed potent multimeter wave beam technology initially created to superheat plasma in the fusion studies, to blast through indestructible rock deep beneath the surface of the Earth. According to the corporation, this will enable them to drill boreholes to depths never before achievable, potentially reaching rock temperatures of up to 500 degrees Celsius, 932 degrees Fahrenheit. At those temperatures, water enters a supercritical state, greatly increasing the efficiency with which geothermal energy may be extracted. The eventual outcome is that nearly everywhere on Earth will have access to vast renewable geothermal energy sources. Almost any power plant currently in operation that uses fossil fuel heat to create steam and run turbines can be hooked up to a completely reliable 24-hour supply of green energy that will keep those turbines turning without a single puff of CO2 escaping and without the worrisome intermittency of other renewable sources like wind and solar. Even more astonishingly, it will be done in record time. Quaise claims that its hybrid drilling rig, which utilizes a traditional rotary bit to get through the easy stuff, and a gyrotron-powered energy beam to melt, fracture, and vaporize the tough stuff, will deliver a hole 20 kilometers, 12.4 miles, deep in just 100 days. The deepest hole ever drilled by humans took nearly 20 years to reach a depth of 12,289 meters, 40,318 feet. In just over 4 months, you can have clean energy delivered to your doorstep via a stable borehole lined with glassy melted rock. With $18 million in seed money, $5 million in grants, and $40 million in a Series A fundraising round that ended in February of this year, the total amount raised by the company is around 63 million US dollars. According to Quaise, upon reaching a pressure of more than 22 MPa and a temperature of more than 374 degrees Celsius, 705 Fahrenheit, water becomes a supercritical liquid. When compared to non-supercritical power plants, those that use supercritical water as their working fluid can get up to 10 times as much usable energy out of each drop. The key to achieving power densities competitive with fossil fuels is to aim for supercritical conditions. Quaise is developing fully operational, fully deployable demonstration devices that it hopes to put into service in 2024. They anticipate having their first super hot enhanced geothermal system up and running by 2026 with a capacity of 100 megawatts. Quaise's next move is pure business brilliance, using already built infrastructure, such as coal-fired power facilities that will be shut down when emissions regulations tighten. These plants are pre-connected to the power grid and have vast capabilities of transforming steam into electricity, as well as established commercial operations and experienced workforces. Instead of using coal or methane to generate heat, Quaise will switch to supercritical geothermal energy, which will provide more than enough power to run the turbines internally. Since the heat should be available everywhere on Earth with this drilling technology, Quaise plans to repower its first fossil-fired plant in 2028, and subsequently refine and repeat the process globally. By 2050, the world's 8,500 or so coal-fired power plants with a combined capacity of more than 2,000 gigawatts will all need to be put to use for something else, making this a tremendous business opportunity. We need a vast amount of carbon-free energy in the coming decades, said Mark Gupta, managing director of Prelude Ventures, one of the company's primary Series A investors. Quaise Energy is a viable option for providing energy to the world because it uses few resources and can be scaled almost indefinitely. It will work in tandem with our existing renewable solutions to get us to 100% renewable baseload electricity in the not-too-distant future. This could be a massive shift in the energy industry and could very well mark the start of a paradigm shift. In fact, if this technology pans out as planned, and we don't end up angering the Earth, and the economics work out, this new usage for gyrotrons could ironically wind up putting fusion reactors out of business. Unlike large-scale solar and wind farms, it will require essentially no land area to operate. Since every nation will have access to its own almost endless energy supply, it will cause a shift in the international politics. It would be good when large nations no longer need to liberate the populations of smaller nations in order to obtain energy. If we want future generations to live in a thriving world, we need to address the existential problem of making the switch from fossil fuels to emissions-free energy. Although renewable energy sources such as wind and solar offer hope as alternatives to fossil fuels, not enough space exists to implement them on a large enough scale to displace the present dominating energy sources. Supercritical geothermal energy is an attractive option for generating electricity because of its negligible impact on land use and the fact that it can leverage a century's worth of investment in fossil fuel exploration, mapping, and transmission. This energy will also possibly mark an end to all the wars that have been fought over oil. However, no sort of meddling with the Earth has ever resulted in anything good. A few facilities that harness the Earth's energy might not create an issue, but if every country on the planet opens or starts work on a facility that deals with geothermal energy, then we could well end up disturbing a very delicate balance in nature. Well, the very first issue is that things like this could cause some pretty bad earthquakes, which would not only destroy the existing facility, but would also create a larger global crisis where thousands could be killed and millions would be incurred in property damage. Don't forget that in 2006, the construction of a geothermal power plant in Switzerland triggered an earthquake of a magnitude of 3.4 on the Richter scale. Another problem is environmental issues. Beneath the surface of the planet, greenhouse gases abound in great quantities. Some of these gases rise to the surface and enter the atmosphere as a byproduct of using geothermal energy. In general, these emissions are more prevalent in areas close to geothermal power plants. Minimal amounts of sulfur dioxide and silica are released into the atmosphere by geothermal power facilities. Trace amounts of mercury, arsenic, and boron, among other harmful heavy metals, may also be present in the reservoirs. However, when compared to the pollution caused by coal power and other fossil fuels, the pollution caused by geothermal power is negligible. So that is all the time we had today, folks. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to remain updated about all our future videos. See you all next time.